There's a door in the Red Keep that nobody in Westeros wants to open. And by the end of Unbowed and Unbent, two queens are trapped behind it, in the dark with the rats. That title is supposed to be about defiance, echoing Maria Martell's centuries-old refusal to bow to Aegon the Conqueror. But this episode spends the entire hour proving the opposite. Nearly everyone bends. Some just don't realize it yet. Structurally, this is one of the busier hours the show has done all season. 5 separate locations, no dragon battles, and almost no scene that runs longer than a few minutes. That's not sloppy pacing. It's the point. Every thread in this episode is a small crack, and the show wants you watching all of them widen at once. Let's break down what actually happened, and why it matters more than it looks like on first watch. The episode opens at night on a burning riverside camp. Criston Cole and Gwaine Hightower harassing the Rivermen under Oscar Tully and Rickon Stark. It looks like a minor skirmish. It isn't. This is the guerrilla strategy Cole floated last episode actually working, and everything he does for the rest of the hour is downstream of that success. Here's the twist that changes everything about Harrenhal. Alice Rivers isn't just protecting Aemond anymore, she's keeping him. She scares off one group of bounty hunters with nothing but a rock and a swarm of bats, no magic required. Then a second wave of Team Black men corner her directly, and it's Aemond, barely healed, still recovering from a nightmare he had in her lap just scenes earlier. Who ends it? Watch who's protecting whom by the end of this episode. It's flipped from where it started. Back in King's Landing, the show lays its real thesis on the table. Daemon tells Rhaenyra to think bigger than Flea Bottom. Rhaenyra insists there's treachery she can't name yet. Both of them are right, and neither one is looking in the right direction. Lady Subital Frey corners the Queen over Harrenhal, being dangled as bounty instead of honoring what was promised to her house. Rhaenyra buys her silence with a council seat instead. It's the same transactional rot that's been quietly killing this administration since Jace died. Promises made in wartime that nobody can actually cash. Buried in the same scene, almost as an afterthought. Joffrey, Rhaenyra's last surviving son with Harwin Strong, has come home from the Vale. She says she'll see him later. She doesn't make it in time. That's not filler. That's the show telling you exactly where this queen's attention actually lives. Then there's Mysaria, who visits Alicent that same day and doesn't buy the Moon Tea story for a second. Remember that it's the reason she catches the bigger lie later without breaking a sweat. Which brings us to Rook's Rest, where Larys finally tells Aegon the thing nobody else will say. He wasn't just a bad king, he's a bad man. Aegon has no comeback. Then Tyland Lannister, last seen thrown overboard, strolls back and alive, a survival the books never give him. In Fire and Blood, Tyland never leaves King's Landing. He's captured when the city falls and tortured by Rhaenyra's men trying to find the royal treasury. Here, the show keeps him mobile and intact, which means his job in the story has changed. He's not a casualty anymore, he's an asset for whatever's left of the Greens. Back with Cole and Gwaine, the caltrops hidden in the swamp grass finally do their damage, forcing the men on foot to a bridge that's already burned. Gwaine wants to fall back. Cole refuses and delivers the line that reframes his entire arc. A lifetime spent serving people who never served him back, and now he's choosing exactly how he dies, on his own terms, with songs written about it after. Gwaine hears it, chooses to live, and leaves him there. In the capital, Daemon tortures a suspect and learns Ormond Hightower paid for the Gold Cloak killings, and that Ormond's already crowned Daeron king in Tumbleton, his face stamped on coins. Then Daemon finds the rest of it himself. Luther Largent and his men staged around a table like a feast for traitors, written in blood on the wall. In the book, Largent dies in a chaotic street riot. Here, it's calculated theater. And it lines up with the philosophy Ormond lays out this episode, invoking Maria Martell's old strategy against Aegon the Conqueror. You don't beat dragons with armies. You beat them with fear and starvation. Which brings us to the ending. Alicent tries one last time to get Helaena to take the Moon Tea. Helaena refuses, still grieving the son she's already lost. So Alicent tries to smuggle her out disguised as a servant instead. And Mysaria, primed from that earlier conversation, catches them instantly. Alicent buys her silence with a future favor. Watch that trade closely. Mysaria has spent this entire hour watching the small council ride off Flea Bottom. And this is her quietly deciding Rhaenyra's regime isn't a bet worth staying loyal to. Cornered one final time, Alicent and Helaena find an old passage sealed since Maegor the Cruel's reign. They go in looking for a way out. The door locks behind them. The lantern goes out. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for our next House of the Dragon breakdown.